Hi guys, Jimmy here to serve dental, back for another conversation about DESS. And today, pretty excited about this. This is pretty cool for those of you that are looking to mill your own abutments, right? That's always been a question, challenge, how do I do it? So today we're going to talk about that, right? And it's all important because of the FDA. The FDA has added more inspectors and more policies, and they're doing more inspections in labs than ever before, and it's all centered around dental implants and implant abutments. So it's always kind of a little scary thing to think, can I really mill abutments in my own lab? I'm a big fan of custom milled by OEMs, Atlantis. I'm a fan, right? Custom abutments, I think, are a good thing to do. But the FDA has a lot to say about it. So we want to make sure we follow the rules. And when you use somebody else's, they're making sure that's happening. Right? But if you want to do it yourself, you got to wonder, how do I do that? So with the FDA, right, and DESS, of course, DESS is accredited. All their parts and components, they've gone through that procedure, not only with the FDA, but also with Canada Health and the European version. Right? So we don't worry about DESS being, are they not accredited? They are. They've had all their stuff tested. But what if you want to do it in the lab? And in the past, right, there's been a couple of options, right? One we all, I think, are pretty much aware of, right? The traditional path to being compliant, according to the FDA, to mill your own abutments in-house has been what some term it as the FDA registration and QMS, or quality management system process. It's a very difficult process to do, right? A lot of certification, a lot of steps, a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of costs associated with that. This is basically what all the manufacturers go through, and it's continual, right? You have to do this every year, right? There's audits involved, inspections involved, and it's a challenge, but some labs have done it, right? And it's certainly doable, but most of us look at that and say, that's a lot, that's a little scary, a lot of costs, not sure I want to do that. So we stick with our partners, right? Our outsourcing partners, to let either our OEM or our third-party folks manufacture our abutments for us that we design. Well, there is an alternative path that I've never been really familiar with, but my partnership with DESS, I've learned about this, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. And it is an FDA-validated process, and they call it PnP, or plug and play. The FDA actually calls it digital dentistry workflow. And what this is a validated process or recipe, right? And if you follow this recipe, if you follow this process, if you use the components that they validated within this process, you are, according to the FDA, fully confirmed, fully validated, and you can mill your own abutment. So it's actually pretty cool. It basically says, buy this blank or this pre-mill, buy this milling machine, use this software, both CAD and CAM, right? Use this process to mill it, assemble it, use this zirconia, use this cement to cement your crowns on. If you do all these things, you fall under the parameters of this recipe that's been validated, and the FDA says, you're done, you're good, you're actually qualified. So to me, this is a much easier path, if you want to mill your own abutments, to look at this plug and play system. 100% FDA compliance, right? No QMS system is needed, right? You just have to follow the recipe. So I call this the revolution of FDA clearance, and it's pretty exciting. And again, summary, it is a simple pathway to FDA clearance for dental labs that want to mill their own abutments. So here's what it looks like, right? Here's the recipe, right? Here are the current validated components of this digital workflow that the FDA has given approval to. So it's, from a doctor's point of view of scanning, the 3-shape intraoral scanners. From a lab perspective, the 3-shape lab scanners. They are in process of validating some of the other scanners as we speak. The PrimeScan, the OmniCam, the iTero, coming really soon. So scanners, right? Pretty known. We know all these are the CAD-CAM step, right? The CAD step. 3-shape dental system, 3-shape dental studio, right? Fully validated, part of the system. Most of you, or a lot of you, are using that. I know there are a lot of ExoCAD users out there. When I was in Barcelona about a month ago, they were validating, and they were very close to the end. So I would imagine we're going to see that really soon for ExoCAD. So on the CAM, dental CNC, Hyperdent, Millbox, again, all familiar CAM softwares. As long as you have that, you're within the validation of parameters. Milling machines. Right now, the only milling machine that's in the validated workflow is the VHF. But Again, they're right in the process of closing out a few others, including Ceramill, Versamill, Digital Dental, and the MCX5, which we see, any of those in a lot of different labs. So we move on to the final materials, right? Zirconias, right? The argon zirconias, the Zerlux zirconias, the Amann Girrbach zirconias, all part of the validated workflow. And then the blanks, the pre-mills, we're talking about the DESS titanium pre-mills. We talked about the features and benefits of those. And then the cement that we use to put the crowns on, the multi-link hybrid cement to put the zirconia crowns on. So the materials are all in place. And like I said, DESS is constantly, when I was there, they were actually validating about 6 different things. And so I anticipate that this will only get better as time goes. So plug and play, digital validated workflow, the FDA's gotten full sign off, and DESS has done all the work for us. And so that's exciting. And what do you got to buy? Well, you really just have to buy from them the pre-mills, the blanks. Everything else you should have already in place, or you can have easily with the milling machines that we know and love. So take a look. DESS, plug and play, mill your own abutments if that's what you want to do. We're excited about it. Talk to you again.